What's up, everyone? This is Silver Slayer. You gotta be subscribed. You wanna know why? Because I'm doing a giveaway once I hit 42,000 subscribers. I'm doing another giveaway once I hit 45,000 subscribers. I'm doing another giveaway once I hit 47,000 subscribers. And then when I hit 50,000 subscribers, I'm giving away a disgusting amount of silver. And if you don't believe me, I just gave away over $1,000 worth of silver once I hit 40,000, and this 50,000 one's gonna be much bigger. So you got to be subscribed. And I also post daily videos, which really should be your main reason to be subscribed, because today's day and age, you have to stay up to date on a day-to-day basis of what's happening to silver, what's affecting the prices. And I'm going to keep you guys in the loop every single day. I post daily videos. You cannot be blindly investing nowadays and expect to be successful. There's too much happening. The prices are too wishy-washy, and in reality, things are crazy. We're living in a global pandemic, right? This stuff is crazy right now. The markets are crazy. We're not going to see any type of stable pricing because nothing in the world is stable right now. So why do I say $100 silver is cheap? Because it is. It is. Nothing has ever been this extreme throughout the history of the world. Nothing. Not even close. The only thing that was somewhat close was back in 2008, credit crisis, recession/depression, leading to $50 silver, because, throwing out billions of dollars back then in stimulus, that led to $50 silver. So nowadays, recession/depression, just like back then, credit crisis, just like back then, billion-dollar stimulus, now we have trillion-dollar stimulus, which is a massively different number, and a global pandemic, and a controversial presidential election, and a silver shortage, and a short squeeze. And then we have Joe Biden winning the election, doing this green energy revolution, throwing more money out, trillions of dollars into that, silver being needed in those solar panels, and in the 5G towers, and in the electric vehicles, because back then we didn't have this electric vehicle era with Tesla. So if you combine what led silver to $50 back then and apply it to today's time, $100 silver is minimum. Do you know how much bigger of a number a trillion is than a billion? It's a lot. That's a much higher number. I don't even think the human brain can fathom how much bigger of a number a trillion is than a billion. And we're throwing trillions of dollars out. And the dollar index is worse. We're more in debt than in 2008. But we have no choice, right? What are we going to tell people? We don't have the money to give out. If I was going to ask you what you think silver's price will be in 10 years from now, and you don't say $50, then you're not remembering what silver was 10 years ago. 10 years from now, you can say whatever you want, and if you're going to lowball it, then you're probably forgetting that silver was $50 not even 10 years ago. Around 10 years ago, silver was $50 in 2011. And a lot's happened since then. So think about 10 years from now, how much could happen and how much will happen and how much worse things are going to be. Do you think the dollar is going to last another 10 years? I want you to honestly comment that down below. Because when I say the dollar's lost 98% of its purchasing power, that's a literal number. That's a statistical number. Not 99%, not 97%. 98% of the dollar's purchasing power is lost due to inflation, rather hyperinflation. And at some point or another, something has to change. And they're already looking to change it. They're not going to announce that, but if you really pay attention to how our fiat system is, how banks, how all these companies like Amazon, PayPal, how everything's kind of transferring into Bitcoin-like money. Amazon soon accepting Bitcoin, PayPal accepting Bitcoin. You could buy a Bitcoin, you can buy a Tesla with Bitcoin. Elon Musk dumping $1.5 billion into Bitcoin. Everything's transforming into Bitcoin. And if you don't want to believe that or not, acknowledge it or not, accept it or not, it doesn't matter, because it's still happening whether you like it or not. And all we can do is adjust and adapt. Doesn't mean that Bitcoin's the best investment. I'm just saying that our money, our money type of system, even globally, is turning into cryptocurrency. We have Tether, which is pegged to the US dollar. We literally have a crypto called US dollar coin, USDC. It's a crypto that's pegged to dollar, but it also represents the US dollar. Everything's digital. Swipe of a card, Bitcoin ATMs, mobile banking, right? Cashless or mobile, everything's digital now. You don't need to bring a credit card anywhere with you. You don't have to carry cash. No one carries cash, especially with this global pandemic. Who's going to be handing out dollar bills when there's a global pandemic of virus that's spreading everywhere? No one's going to be handing out cash anymore. That's going to be long gone. We're going to be talking about the days where people actually handed dollar bills to each other in exchange. That's going to be long gone. It's all digital now, and it's happening before our eyes. Now, what's that going to do to silver, though? Why is this going to affect silver prices? Well, because silver is directly correlated to how strong the dollar is. So if the dollar is collapsing, then that means that silver is going to be pushed up. Billions of dollars back in 2008 through 2011. That affected the dollar index, and look where it led silver. So nowadays, trillions is a much larger number, a much greater impact on the dollar index, much greater impact on the economy, and that's only going to push precious metals up, but I can't guarantee that's going to keep the prices there. So, Silver Slayer, what's going to keep the prices there? Silver demand. The Silver Institute, the holy grail of information, they only post like once or twice a year, and what they talk about, you can't get this information from anywhere else. Like, this is it, right? Once they post their numbers, the production numbers, the demand numbers, and all that, that's it. What they're and the craziest part is the Silver Institute's actually extremely bullish on silver, the upcoming year. We have Citibank, Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, Silver Institute, all these big ballers talking about $50, $100 silver. And banks usually don't talk about silver, they talk about gold. Banks love gold, banks don't like silver anymore. And it's crazy to think about. Silver was actually money once upon a time. We talk about silver being money or silver having value is like this mythological creature. But actually in pre-1965, our money had silver in it. A Walking Liberty $50 had 50 cents of silver in it, right? A 50-cent piece had 50 cents of silver. A 10-cent dime had 10 cents of silver in it, right? Our money was based off of silver, and it has been for the last 5,000 years. But it's only till today that we cut this off. It was only till 1930 when FDR got in office and changed the gold to silver ratio from 16 to 1 to 75 to 1. Single-handedly, right, devaluing silver. That one person devalued silver. Now, there's a lot more context behind that, because look what happened in 1930. But just saying that until recent times, silver was just about as valuable as gold. And nothing has changed except the perspective of someone saying this is that. But guess what? Silver's price is irrelevant compared to spot price, because no matter who says that 1 ounce silver coin is worth what, that's irrelevant, because the price of the silver, the value of the silver is the 1 ounce inside of it, not the spot price attached to it. And if you want to know, if you want me to prove that, then listen to this. Back in the day, you could hand back in the day, a Walking Liberty could get you a gallon of gas, and nowadays a Walking Liberty can get you a gallon of gas. Back in the day, I could have went to the gas station, handed that store clerk a 50-cent Walking Liberty, and I could have got a gallon of gas for 50 cents. Nowadays, a gallon of gas 50 cents can't give me a gallon of gas, but I could take that 50 cent, the same exact coin, go to the coin shop, sell that Walking Liberty for $10, and then take that $10 and get a gallon of gas. See, back in the day, it was the face value, and nowadays, it would be the metal content inside of it. So think about, 50 years from now. Silver is literally timeless. It's like putting your money in a time capsule. As the dollar deflates, it's a hedge against inflation. So if you honestly think that as the dollar loses power, purchasing power, as, back in the day, $10 is like $50, and $100 back in the day is like $500. If you don't think that as time goes on, it takes more money to buy things of value, and that's if the dollar survives. If you honestly don't think that silver would be $100, then you're living in la la land. And I don't want to be a silver pumper, because no, it's not going to probably happen in 2-3 years. It's probably going to be more like 10, like 5, 6, 7, 8 years before we see $100 silver. We could see it sooner, but I don't think it would last that long, because silver is a slower paced market than Bitcoin. We're not going to see silver hit $30,000 in March and then $60,000 by December like Bitcoin can do. Bitcoin's a much different market. It's based solely off of speculation. Gold and silver has fundamental value, supply and demand. It's not supposed to be like Bitcoin. And if you're trying to invest into silver with the perspective of Bitcoin, then you're probably going to lose a lot of money, because you have to be patient. You have to understand the markets of silver. It's a completely different exit strategy. It's a completely different stacking strategy, and they work in completely different ways. Now, they both do represent secured wealth, right? Bitcoin and silver and gold are completely going against the grain. There's no central bank in control of Bitcoin. There's no bank of Bitcoin. There's no Bitcoin police. You're on your own. When you put your Bitcoin into that cold wallet or that hard wallet, you are in complete control. No third party, no one owns it except you. When you buy your silver and it's in your safe or wherever, dug in the ground somewhere, you are in complete control. Go to the bank and try to take out $5,000 cash. Watch how hard it's going to be. Watch how many questions they ask you. You can barely even do that. You can barely even take out your own money. It's crazy. Times are changing, whether you want to admit it or not, whether you like it or not. And if you are someone who's sitting here and saying $100 silver is impossible, then you clearly just are closed-minded. And I hate saying it like that blunt, but it's just like, people talk about $50 silver nowadays as some mythological number. It's like, do you remember that silver was just $50 like not even a decade ago? It's because most people get desensitized to smaller numbers because they started stacking a year ago, a couple months ago, a couple years ago, as silver has been this $15, $20 number. So yeah, when it's $15, $20 and it hasn't even appreciated more than $2 for the last couple of years, then yeah, thinking about a number like 50 or 100 would seem insane. But you're looking at it from a very small perspective, and you have to think outside the box. You got to remember the bigger picture, that silver's been valuable for 5,000 years. So 2 years is a very tiny grain of sand when you're looking at a price or price comparing or thinking about price forecasts or predictions for the future. Think about silver's price in 100 years from now, after we're way long gone and dead. Think about silver's price in 200 years from now, as everything's, digital and flying cars and stuff. And silver is still the only metal. It's the most highly conductive metal for thermal conductivity and electricity. I mean, nothing's ever going to replace silver. I just made a video about that the other day, an article talking about it, that in particular. But anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. I hope you enjoyed this video. Check out the other videos I've been posting lately. I posted another video last night. Definitely think you guys are going to dig that. Make sure you're subscribed. I post daily videos, do lots of giveaways. Stay tuned. Thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.